Hi, this is Gary Edwards. I've got another story for you. It's about the time in 1959 when the high school band took a trip to Calgary, Canada to perform at the Calgary Stampede. We told the girls in the band that the way to be friendly to Canadian boys is to wave at them like this. In America, this means that you're hitchhiking, but in Canada, we told them that that's a friendly greeting for American boys. Well, so the girls were going all over town in Calgary waving the thumb at the boys in their cars as they were driving by. And the boys were just laughing their heads off because in Canada, this is the same as giving the finger. We were stinkers. And speaking of the finger, I told you earlier that in Chile, the way you give the finger is by going like this, covering up a hole with your other hand. It's called la tapa. So anyway, I guess there was this one truck driver that didn't like American gringos. I was walking down the streets of the slum one day, and this truck driver drove his truck and almost ran me over. And I go like this to him. And he was laughing his head off at the idea that a gringo would be able to give him the finger in Chilean sign language. So you do what you have to do to make international friends, right? And then one time in Chile, I was on a real crowded bus. I mean, like these buses are designed for 40 people or so, and there was like 65 people hanging from the doors and the ceiling and the back end of the bus. And these two Chilean drunks were, in fact, I knew them. They were living in my slum, and they were arguing and fighting with each other and loudly. And so next thing I know, the bus pulls over at the steps of the police station, and this big mean cop, I mean, he was tough looking and ornery looking, and he's walking up and down because the driver didn't know who the perpetrators were. And he walks slowly down the aisle, and everybody's sitting there quiet. Who did this? Who knows something? Nobody raised their hands. Nobody spoke up, peep. So finally, he comes up behind me, puts his hand on my shoulder, and he says, "Is this the guy in Spanish?" And I forgot how to speak Spanish. I was going, wait, what? I don't know, wait a minute. And everybody says, no, that's not the guy. So luckily, I didn't have to go to jail. And speaking of jail, one time I was in Chile and I went to get a shoe shine. Well, all I had was a 50,000 peso note. The shoe shine was probably like 300 pesos or 500 pesos or whatever, maybe 1,000 at the most. So naively, I said to the guy, "I don't have change. This is all I got." And he says, "Well, I'll go get change for you." So he took off. I never saw him again. And so I was a stubborn guy then, I waited for 2 hours for him to show up. And finally, this other guy showed up and said he was taking over, and and he was going to take care of the equipment. So I called this cop over and I said, "These guys ripped me off for 50,000 pesos, which was about the equivalent of $5 or whatever. Their inflation rate was 300% a year." And he took that guy kicking and screaming to jail, and I kind of felt sorry for him. Okay, I'll tell you one more story. One time I was on the bus in Chile. It was very crowded. We were all pushed up against each other, but I had a pocket full of money. I had about 250,000 pesos, which was my month's salary, in my billfold in my left front pocket. And this was worth about $80 or whatever, but it was my whole month's pay. So all of a sudden I felt somebody's fingers in my pockets, and they weren't mine. And I turned around and I saw this old guy and gave him a dirty look, and he took his fingers sheepishly out of my pocket. And I thought, well, in the interests of international relations, I'll just shrug it off. And then the more I thought about, the angrier I got. And I thought how hard I worked for that $86 or whatever it was. And I just reached over and knocked him on his ass with my elbow and called him a thief, a ladrón, que me robó de mi bolsillo. And everybody just kind of left us alone, and that was the end of that story. God, I was mad. But anyway, now that I look back on it, it's kind of funny. Okay, I'll tell you one more story. One time I was on a bus in Chile, and there was this real cute girl, and I was going to see my friend. And so on the buses in those days, you had to have a reservation, and they gave you a seat number with your ticket. So I noticed there was an empty seat next to this really cute girl. And so I sat down next to her, and the conductor comes up and he asked for my ticket. He told me I was in the wrong seat. I says, "I don't speak Spanish, sorry." I lied through my teeth. And here I'd been talking to this girl and being friendly with her. So finally the conductor gave up in disgust and left, talking about these stupid gringos probably. So then I started chattering away in Spanish with this girl next to me. Her name was Maria, and she lived in a small town. And interestingly, she had just been at a demonstration against Americans the day before where she was throwing rocks. In fact, the rocks were so thick in the air that it darkened the sky. And so I got the hell out of there the day before. But anyway, she had just been at a protest against the gringo imperialists. And so we talked about that for a while. And so finally I said, how about Friday? You know, the custom was that the young men and women would meet in the square of the villages and walk around in a circle and flirt with each other. And that's how people found their girlfriends and boyfriends. So anyway, I says, hey, Friday night, how about if I meet you in the public square at 7 o'clock and we'll get together for a date? She says, okay. Well, I got to my friend's house and my boss fired me for taking off without permissions. I got picked up and flown back to America, and I never did see the girl again. But Maria, wherever you are, you're probably still pissed off at these lying, no good Yankee gringos that you were protesting against. So I apologize for that. Okay, bye. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I know I sure enjoyed making it for you. If you like what you see here, please subscribe to my channel and click on the notification bell. You are free to listen to the music on my website. All you need to do is click on the link on this video. And be sure and access my Patreon website and consider supporting me where you can get access to downloads, music, videos, books, early access to content, and much more. You can also find the link here. If you like what you see here on my channel, go ahead and share the information with your friends and family. Again, thank you for your viewership and support, and I look forward to seeing you again. So for now, bye-bye.